That you're preaching to the choir. Yeah, that's so. Just looking at your programming, there's a question that I always ask people, and it's because of different conflicting information. So, are you so deadlifts? They obviously are generating force against the ground. Do you utilize, and obviously you're setting up for Olympic lifts, so you need to do a straight bar deadlift because it's the first step. Are you a big hex bar guy or not?
No, no. We had them. Some of our sports were. Now, if we had someone coming off of an injury, and there's always those outliers, whether you're doing clean grip deadlifts, conventional deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, there are certain guys that picking the bar. Well, first of all, if you have we recruited guys, if you recruit a 6'6" or 6'7" stiff guy by accident, he's not going to be able to properly grip a bar and get in the correct starting position.
You're right.
To do anything except for maybe a sumo deadlift. So we had boxes and mats where you could raise the bar up, but still sometimes, people call them high cut. But if you have a guy that has a long lower torso and a short upper torso, like I've seen guys, they were built like crickets. They have these long legs and then a little bitty short torso.
Yeah. Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it looks like they're 60-40, or 70-30. These little bitty short torsos, they can never get in a good stance. So we would allow those guys to do trap bar pulls. And I don't have anything against them, but I've always been more of a traditionalist and was going to try a clean grip or conventional grip deadlift, clean pull, sumo deadlift, or even, I tell you, an exercise that I really like a lot, especially with football players, are dumbbell deadlifts. And when you have dumbbells that go up to 200 pounds, you can get some really good work, because when you're in a lot of people train footballs for when they're standing and running around and jumping and catching balls. But when you have two linemen that get in a stance and they're all balled up in a stance, especially two big collegiate, SEC linemen, those guys are in a kind of a compromising position anatomically, and they're supposed to be effective in that position. So I like heavy dumbbell deadlifts from the floor because it forces them to get down in that very similar balled up tight position and lift those dumbbells off the floor. And again, a 400-pound dumbbell deadlift from the floor for 4 sets of 5, that's a hell of a deadlift for a guy.
That is. On another piece, go ahead.
But the shorter in stature your lifter is, the easier the dumbbell deadlifts are. So you can put them at a deficit and have them stand on some rubber mats or something. But then, doing those dumbbell deadlifts for young linemen, not going 400 pounds, but working up on dumbbell deadlifts, to me, are a great exercise. And I like dumbbell RDLs, and anything that you do with a barbell, you can do with a dumbbell, and likewise. So you can do dumbbell snatches, dumbbell jerks, dumbbell cleans, dumbbell. So for guys that had broken wrist or broken hands or sprained wrists or hurt elbows or hurt shoulders, we would have them do single arm sumo deadlift. I would rather a guy do a single arm sumo deadlift with a 200-pound dumbbell for sets of 6, 8, or 10 than put them on some machine where they're lying on their back doing something that doesn't necessarily carry over to sports. And you're talking about developing their pillar and core strength and all. We used dumbbells. I tell you something else I really like, center of mass bells. I really like those. Rogue makes.
That's Thompson. That's Donnie's.
Thompson.
Yeah, those are the fat bills.
Yeah, Donnie's.
Yeah, Donnie's a great dude.
And they get heavy, man.
Yes.
And so you would have, if we were snatching and there's a guy that has an injured wrist, elbow, or shoulder, you know, as long as everything that we did was pain-free, but we would start them with those center of mass bales and have them do muscle snatches with center of mass bales. And then as their shoulder gets better and better and better, we would increase the velocity to where they're doing those center of mass dumbbells or kettlebells, whatever you call them, power snatches. And then we would advance to doing full hang squat snatches with those center of mass bales. And our players and our athletes, not just our football players, but our players love those center of mass bales. So in all of our rehab, we would look for ground-based free weight exercises that we could do with them versus putting them on a leg extension, a leg curl machine. You know, we had TRX bands hanging between every rack. We probably had in the gym 25 to including the area upstairs. We probably had 30 TRX bands.
Wow.
So if a guy had a sprained ankle or a hamstring or knee tendonitis, we would start him out on TRX pistol squats. And I would rather a football player do pistol squats, single leg RDLs or reverse hypers on a reverse hyper bench for a lower body injury than lay on their back and do a single leg press.
So true.
Because that's how you don't play the game. You know, there's not a lot of businesses that you're going to make money lying down. Like
I could think of one, but
yeah, that's it. There's no sport. Like maybe maybe there's a prone, you know, in rifling, you lie prone and shoot a gun.
Bobsled,
marbles. What other sport is there where you lie on the ground?
It's the luge. The luge. It's the luge.
Oh, the luge. There you go.
The luge.
Yeah.
That's role training for the luge.
You have to sprint on the luge.
You still got to sprint. Yeah. And that's actually, this helps me a lot because usually in what we do, I deal a lot with the injured people, and this helps a lot.